Everything's fine on 93.9 Dublin South FM.
Sharad has there to talk about the clip of the Sambhal controversy. Sambhal is a city in Uttar Pradesh, and that's where the whole controversy is going on, and that's where the place is. Sit back and learn and educate yourself with this particular clip. Sharad, take it away.
Thank you and good afternoon. At the start of this discussion, I want to ask, dear friends, what is this survey? Is this the real survey in Sambhal, or if not, what will be the real survey? Today, we are taking a sobering journey into the heart of one of the most unsettling episodes of recent times, the riots in Sambhal. The devastation there is not an isolated event, we all know. It's a chilling deja vu of Bareilly, Aligarh, Bairaj, Delhi, Nuh, and other countless towns across India. And the truth is, this isn't new. Communal tensions have marred our history of this subcontinent for over 2 centuries, for over 200 years. And the record dates back to 1805 also. Time and again, innocent lives are sacrificed at the altar of hate, communal hate. But we have learnt nothing. Or have we learnt anything? We hear slogans about protecting religion, but what truly lies beneath those rights? Instead of upholding peace, sections of the media that we now term as Gaudi media, they are using diversionary tactics, they are amplifying divisive narratives, and then conveniently skirting out accountability. But let's pause and ask, why is Sambhal so significant all of a sudden now? To answer that, we must recognize that this is not just another riot, it is the latest chapter in an age-old sinister formula, a political playbook that uses faith and history as a tool for polarization. So there are two toxic chemicals of faith and history that is making this India explosive. Here's how the events unfolded. 8 petitioners, I would say sinister, approached the court with a claim that beneath Sambhal's Jama Masjid, they believe, once stood a Harihar temple, allegedly destroyed by Babur in 1526 AD. And that is a tale of faith from 500 years ago. The lower court, invoking legal precedents, will come to that. So the lower court, invoking the legal precedents, ordered a survey. And the survey was conducted quickly, though peacefully, and the matter could have ended there itself. But then there was something sinister going on. The town of Sambhal, with the first survey, could have returned to calm and into the ordinary rhythm of life. But a week later, the petitioners returned to the mosque. And the question is why? So the petitioners returned to the mosque, and this time they were not alone, but accompanied by group chanting provocative slogans. And that is where the spark was lit. The town erupted in violence. 5 innocent lives were lost, including that of a 17-year-old boy who succumbed to a bullet injury. Understand, for his family, his dreams, his potential, and the family snuffed out forever. Now the police is denying using firearms. Yet, the video circulating paints a different picture altogether. Unverified clips, I would say, shows police officers firing into the crowd. And the question remains, why? Now the big question, let's say bigger question. Why was the survey of the Jama Masjid even allowed? Please refer to the Places of Worship Act 1991. That's an Indian law and is explicit that the status of all the places of worship is to remain as it was on August 15, 1947, except for the ongoing Ayodhya dispute. So when the Places of Worship Act was enacted in 1991, Ayodhya dispute with the BJP and Mr. Advani, that was at the hot seat. So except for that dispute, all other religious places were consigned to the status of August 15, 1947. And with the vision of the then politicians and the leaders of this country, this law was crafted to preserve communal harmony and to prevent the reopening of ancient wounds. So how did this survey get sanctions? Question mark. Why? Again, we turn to Supreme Court's previous ruling on Gyan Vapi Mosque in Varanasi. That is when former Chief Justice of India, D.Y. Chandrachud, observed that faith is a matter to be respected, even if it appears to be frivolous. Now, this particular statement has created the turmoil that we are in today, and his judgment paved the way for non-invasive survey of the contested sites, setting a precedent which is now being exploited in Sambhal. Again, the question is, why did the Chief Justice at the time did what he did? Now, my fear is, and the fear of nation is, that these kind of surveys will not stop at Sambhal. It will not stop here. People will then start questioning Qutub Minar. It is already in the controversy. Taj Mahal, Delhi's Jama Masjid, and 1,000 other religious sites across India. It is going to tear the very fabric of diversity in India. That's my fear. But there is an additional irony here. The Jama Masjid of Sambhal that we are talking about is no ordinary structure. It has been a protected monument since 1920s. That would be the British government, and designated as site of national importance by Archaeological Survey of India, that is in independent India. Therefore, by disregarding this protection, bypassing the law and its intent, why are the principles of justice being traded? Is it for a political gain? Question mark again. If you read Ayodhya's judgment, it celebrates the Places of Worship Act 1991, and it says it's a norm to the Indian Constitution. It will become a norm to Indian Constitution. So the Ayodhya judgment is seeing constitutional cornerstone in this particular act of parliament, and it also considers it as a testament of India's commitment to diversity and equality. Yet recent decisions risk unraveling this harmony, and it is going to open a Pandora's box of disputes of thousands and thousands of religious sites. Sambhal may very well become a turning point, a watershed moment where we either uphold or undermine the spirit of Constitution. Look at the bigger and a much bigger picture here. For over 200 years, Hindu-Muslim tension have scarred this subcontinent's history. In past 35 years alone, the Ayodhya dispute has been a flashpoint, fueling hatred and claiming countless lives. The kind of economic destruction this dispute has caused cannot be measured. The image of India as a tolerant society has been damaged. Yet, we never conduct a survey of these tragedies. So I am coming back to the surveys. Why don't we count the dreams that have been shattered, the families that have been destroyed with these kind of issues for so long? A survey has to be done for that. Instead, we spend time and resources digging into the past, obsessed over events from 500 years ago. But then, if we want to dig into history, why stop at 500 years? Why stop at Sambhal? Why stop at Babar and Aurangzeb? Shouldn't we also survey the temples destroyed during India's ancient history when Buddhism and Jainism faced suppression after Mauryan Empire fell? We all know that the Hinduism and Buddhism were at a clash. So where to stop? The trail of religious wars, contest and destruction is endless. That's history. Now here is where we Indians are looking like morons who use umbrella with holes in monsoon celebrating their genius. While India remains mired in the past, the world has moved on. Look at that. Think of Japan and United States, once bitter enemies during the World War II, after the Hiroshima and Nagasaki bombing. Today they are close allies, collaborating on cutting-edge technologies and economic initiatives. They are largest trading partners. France and Britain, rivals for centuries, now connect their people with high-speed train under the English Channel. And not only with that tunnel, they have changed history, they have changed the geography. Britain is no more an island. And look at the effort, positive effort, that they have taken to drill that tunnel to connect the two countries in a constructive way. And why forget Germany? Once synonymous with Hitler's atrocity, is now the leader of modern Europe, a nation respected worldwide for its resilience and progress. Our nations, our Prime Minister, have been going to Germany, ministers running to Germany for business and education. Why then do we Indians insist on reopening old wounds? Ironically, the same Indians who dig into the mosque for histories also celebrate their British relationships. Indians, a billion dreams, have adopted English as a language and consider spoken English as a pride. We Indians continue to play game of cricket, a sport invented and owned by British. We beam with pride when Hindu origin leaders become Britain's prime minister, while conveniently forgetting the colonial atrocities that drained our nation. This double standard is glaring because it doesn't impact votes. And make no mistakes, this cycle is not random. So this is how it works. People create disputes and then drag it into the court for pretense of legality, then come out with surveys, with records, with other documents to ignite tension, amplify those divisions through provocative actions, slogans. Gaudi media remains no saint, and that polarizes community on religious lines. It solidifies vote banks, and especially either to divert from the real issues or when the elections are around the corner. This time, it's Uttar Pradesh on the political radar. And let's ask again, why aren't the same people of Uttar Pradesh demanding survey of their state's performance, of their state's economic performance, social performance? Where is that survey? And that is the real survey people of Uttar Pradesh, people of this country must ask their governments. The real survey. The survey about the growth, about the prosperity in villages. Uttar Pradesh grapples with staggering unemployment. Thousands of youth migrate daily to cities like Mumbai in search of work. Who is doing a survey of that? Who is asking those questions? Why? Government hospitals lack facilities. Just recently, 2 weeks ago, children died in a tragic hospital fire due to inadequate infrastructure. Schools in Uttar Pradesh lack teachers. Buildings are crumbling and they are relics of bygone era. These are the issues that deserves a survey. These are the matters that demand our attention for records, for surveys. And yet, the youth of Uttar Pradesh, instead of fighting for their future, are being drawn into the battle of the past. Communal unrest scares away investors. This is nothing new. It stifles opportunities. This is nothing new. And it worsens the crisis of jobs and developments. This is nothing new. And for sure, look at the following months of January and February after this riots. There will be more youth from Uttar Pradesh who would migrate to cities of Gurgaon, Mumbai, Bangalore, Chennai, others. So, while the world embraces progress and peace, India risks being left behind, clinging on to 15th century grievances in this 21st century world. We are approaching a critical juncture in our nation's journey, and we need to ask ourselves, what is our mission? What is India's mission? What is Indian government's mission? What is the mission of our leaders? What is the kind of legacy our leaders are going to leave behind? Is it a communal, tension-filled country or a progressive, scientific, new age, technology-driven country? Do we want to continue this cycle of hatred and violence, or will we rise above it? It's our choice. It's the choice of the people. It's the choice of the people of India. We Indians have the choice to uphold the true spirit of equality, justice, liberty, and fraternity as enshrined in our constitution. And by the way, it's the same constitution we celebrated 2 days ago as the 75th Constitution Day. It is ironical that on one hand we have the Constitution Day, on the other hand we are diluting the spirit of the Constitution. Thank you for listening. Stay safe, stay aware, and most importantly, stay united. Bye for now.
Thank you so much, Sharad. What a wonderful analysis you put together of the current situation in India. I'm just back from India myself, so I'm an eyewitness of the actual at one hand.
You are listening to 93.9 Dublin South FM.
Broadcasting from the Dundrum Town Centre. This is Dublin South FM.